5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think I'm live. Yeah, am I live? I think I'm live on the YouTube space here. That's right, that's right. Tweeting it out. Tweeting it out on my personal page off of the BuzzChomp page. Hey, I'm Dan Salem, live on YouTube. If this is a solid stream, then I'm going to go live on Facebook. It looks to be a solid stream, baby. All right. Let's see if we get the Facebook audience to join us. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. All right, I'm Dan Salem. I am live. That means live. You know, I'm live here at Buzz Games. It was the first of week 2, but we're talking week 3. So fallout from last week, the new game coming up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Then fantasy impact, a look around New York sports, and how the Jets stand in the league at large. That's the rundown. I'm Dan Salem here, live on Facebook Live, live on YouTube Live, dual streaming action, both live. Dare to send me your questions and comments, because I will answer them. I said live. All right. Enough pussyfooting around here, kids, or men and adults. First things first, Jets. They beat the Buffalo Bills. Oh, that was sweet, okay? It's Rex Ryan, ex-coach. It's the division rival. Bills seem to have our number. Rex had Ryan Fitzpatrick's number. We're on the road, coming off a 1-point loss that was very hard, and we get a 6-point victory, which felt like a 20 to 30-point victory, except for the Bills, scrappy mother effers that they are, kept things close till the bitter end. But honestly, it wasn't a very close football game. Take away 3 plays, and we honestly just blew them off the field. So, yes, the score was pretty close. They had a chance to win it at the end, but it was not a close football game. And that's great news, because Buffalo did not look like a good team. The Jets did, and I really honestly believe that the Jets are a good football team this year. They played Cincinnati like they're a good football team, and they blew the Bills off the field like good football teams should. Major takeaways. Oh my goodness, we've got 3 prolific wide receivers on the team, not who we were necessarily expecting when the season ended last year. Obviously, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. Marshall got it going again, over 100 yards. Excellent. Decker, 6th straight game with a touchdown. He could set a record next week if he puts another one up against KC. Over 100 yards for Decker also. And then Quincy Enunwa totally himself from the pick. Where is he going to? Brandon Marshall, Jalen Marshall, Eric Decker, Quincy Enunwa. And we got a 5th doing punt return duties. He's not really seen the field in the offense yet. So where's Smithfield? They're going to have to knock somebody else off the team, because we're going to have 6 receivers. Just trade the dude. I don't know. I hope. I mean, he supposedly has the speed. Hopefully he'll still have the speed when he gets back. But our receiving threesome. Yeah, it's a threesome. Okay. Kind of sexual, but what are you going to do? Our receiving threesome was excellent against Buffalo. Excellent all over again. 2 of them did great week 1. Now we got 3 of them working magic against a weaker defense, because Cincinnati's a good team. And I am excited to see what they do against Kansas City, because we'll get to this in a minute, but the Chiefs, haven't looked quite so hot. Not so hot. Also, our running game, rather prolific. Matt Forte, 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball really well. They gave him the ball a lot, but honestly, that's his job. He's the freshest he's going to be all season. Let him run like it. Bilal Powell is there waiting. He's excellent. Bilal Powell and Forte are very similar style players. So if Forte needs a little bit of a rest and he can't go all 30 carries or whatnot, and he only needs 20, we'll get a few more to Powell. They're very, very complementary running backs. And so Forte getting it going, he needed to prove something to the league, and now they're going to have to watch out for him. And as soon as they're all watching out for him, look out for Powell. Because you know what Powell did last year in his limited action. He's just going to dominate. So this is great. That was great. He'll get his touches. I'm not worried. No worries there. major takeaway on the side of negative thinking. Big plays almost lost the game for the Jets. 2 over-the-top passes for touchdowns that they went like over 50 yards each, and 1 fumble strip running back for a touchdown. So 3 plays, 21 points for Buffalo. They put up 30, so that was another touchdown that they got in garbage time and a field goal or something. Three touchdowns for Buffalo that really kept them in it, got it close. The Jets almost lost because of that. The strip fumble, okay. It was our rookie, I believe, Jalen Marshall, who coughed it up. It's a rookie mistake. I'd like to say he's not going to make it again, so we will not allow him to make it again. But the over-the-top passes are what gets me. Okay, so this is it. The Jets secondary was over-aggressive. People are saying, oh, Revis is a step slow. Oh, are we still live on YouTube? Looks like we may have hit a little snag there. Hopefully it's still up and smooth. Boo, YouTube, boo. I'm seeing good green over here, so good health on my Wirecast play, so hopefully you'll come back with us in a second. Yeah, this issue last week, it's no fun. No fun at all. See, it says it's orange health. What does that orange mean, YouTube? I got full green to go here over on my Wirecast play, and I'm going to pause my conversation now in the middle again for you over on the Facebook. All right. Are we getting a no-go from our YouTube audience? A little feedback here would be appreciated. So it's not broadcasting. I've frozen again. I've frozen. Oh, that stinks. What's this green healthy? I don't know. All right. Pause for one shake of the button, and let's see what happens here. I apologize to you guys on Facebook. You're the greatest. This app works much better, apparently. Okay, let's see if that did the trick. Try a little technical magic. So, I was saying secondary, over-aggressive. People want to blame Darrelle Revis. Oh, looks like it may be back up. Can't tell. They want to blame Darrelle Revis. You know, he's a step slow. Okay, so he's up there in age. Are we back on over there? Okay, good. Thank you. I don't want you guys to miss out this sweet knowledge. Okay, so he's up there in age, right? He's an older player. You expect him to lose a step at some point in his career. He's getting up there. But what he has yet to do is compensate for the change that he has to make in his game. He's still playing just as aggressive as ever. And I know that this is a tricky thing to do as a football player. You know, you've played your entire career, your entire life, very, very aggressive in a certain way. But if you lose a half a step, these receivers are going to beat you. And that's what happened to Revis on one play. It happened to another one of our cornerbacks on another play. He's got to... He did. He backed off after that. He hampered his aggression, and he didn't give up another big play personally himself the rest of the game. But this is going to take some adjustment for him. He used to like to bump at the line of scrimmage. He may have to dial that back a little and just play real tight coverage and go for the pick when it's available. He's a great player, but he's going to have to slightly tweak his game to complement his current skill set because it's changed over time. It's not the exact same way as it was when he's young and a star. But other guys on the Jets secondary also too aggressive. That's why you give up 2 big plays like that. That they gave up big plays in the passing game to Cincinnati week 1 also. Over aggressive. They're just too aggressive. Our front line is going to get the sack, so you can just play tight coverage and not have to be aggressive, because if you stay tight and the pass isn't available, just stay with your man. The D-line linebackers, they're going to do their business. So you don't have to try to do too much, I guess is what I'm saying. Dial it down. And against Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be a perfect opportunity to put this plan into action. That's the change that needs to happen. Side note, from week 2, Bills looked kind of bad. So bad, in fact, that they decided that, in their infinite wisdom, to fire their offensive coordinator. And that's never a good thing. It's never a good thing. I don't know how firing someone's going to help this team. Rex Ryan, bless you for trying to spice things up and mix it up because you needed a spark, but giving someone the heave-ho doesn't normally provide the spark that you think it does. So the Buffalo, not looking so hot. Now, I wasn't particularly high on them this year. I did think Miami might do something. They're 0-2 and not looking so hot either. So right now it's the Patriots and the Jets in the AFC East. New England holding things together. They lost their second starting quarterback, so they're going to have to try to hold things together even more over the next 2. Jets got to keep winning because the Patriots look just as good as ever. We expected this. It's going to be a tight race if they want to win the division. The wild card is there for the taking. They had a short turnaround entering Thursday's game, and they overcame that. They were on the road, hostile territory, short week of practice, and they really looked sharp on offense from the get-go. Like I said, defense over-aggressive, and then they dialed it back and held the fort. Good stuff. Now they got a longer rest for the Sunday's game against the Chiefs, and hopefully they put that to some good use because Kansas City's got a lot of weaknesses that the Jets can exploit. And they got to travel to Arrowhead, which is a tough environment. One final thought I have on the Week 2 action. Linebacker, rookie, Darren Lee, showing a lot of good stuff. Getting a lot of playing time last week. It's a great sign. He has made some stellar aggressive tackles. Looked excellent, especially for a rookie. I'd like to see him keep it going. And honestly, the Jets, they got an injury at linebacker. They need someone like him to step it up, and he has done it, and this is wonderful. All right, any questions before I move on to the Week 3 action? Kansas City Chiefs. Enough summary. Okay. So, let's talk Chiefs. We're on the road against I'm going to put struggling in quotes because the Chiefs are 1-1, but they've kind of struggled through 2 weeks of the season. And it's the Jets. It's tough to play at Arrowhead, yes. But Kansas City, okay. They were getting blown out by the Chargers, who now, I must admit, look better than I thought they would because they dominated last week. But then the Chargers gave up a lot of points, and the Chiefs came back to win in overtime Week 1. So they barely got that victory Week 1 against the Chargers team, which they have kind of looked like the part so far, but I'm not ready to elevate them, especially with all the injuries. Then the Kansas City Chiefs just couldn't get anything going against the Houston Texans. Texans got a smothering defense, and guess what other team has a smothering defense? The New York Jets. What the Texans don't have are the offensive weapons that New York has. I mean, Kansas City struggled against the Texans. Jets are going to do the same thing to them from the defensive standpoint. Kansas City gave up a lot of points to a prolific offense in San Diego. Jets got a prolific offense. I like our chances at Kansas City on Sunday. I'm just saying. I like 34-21, 34-17 New York Jets. This is not going to be as close of a game as people may think. I don't think the Chiefs look particularly hot, and we can get to Alex Smith and rattle his cage, and what's he going to do? Just dump it to his tight end for 3 yards and then punt every 4th down? Yeah, pretty much. That's how it's going to go. They also, Kansas City, they don't have Jamal Charles. They don't have their best running back in at the game. That doesn't mean they can't do something, but Jets, they're good at stopping the run. So, Kansas City's going to have a tough time of it stopping the run. Can I get a little charge pack here for my phone? Let's see if I can work this magic on the fly. If this baby has any juice, that would be sweet. Hold for low battery. Sorry there, Facebook. Is this working? Oh yeah, did you give me a little charge boost? I think it did. Awesome. Excellent. There we go. Now I won't lose you. Hello. Okay. Perfection. San Diego. Yes, sorry. No, San Diego put up a good fight. Almost took down the Chiefs. They're so close to 0-2, it's not even funny. I kind of put them on the line of Buffalo Bills, who we want them to be better than they are because they were good last year. Maybe they'll turn it around. Someone's got to have a down year, and the Chiefs look like that team, whereas the Broncos and Chargers are the teams to beat in the AFC West this season. Okay. I like to talk now surprises injuries, other what have you. I'm since a little surprised how prolific Quincy Enunwa has been in the offense. Jalen Marshall also looked very good. I mean, Enunwa showed shines last season, right? He showed flashes. He took a huge leap in the offseason. This is excellent. And granted, we cannot discount how much consistency at quarterback has factored into his progression as a player. When you get to play with the same quarterback that you did last season, which is reasonably common in the NFL, except for the Jets, it's been extremely uncommon of late, you develop chemistry. You get trust in one another. You know where you like the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick was throwing back shoulder pass after back shoulder pass after back shoulder pass against the Bills. Enunwa was reeling them in, and so was Decker and Marshall. Decker and Marshall have proven themselves in this league. We know they're great. But Enunwa, him and Fitzpatrick, they're just like, they're in sync. They're in sync. And this is beautiful. It's beautiful. So, like, I can't discount that enough. If we had a new quarterback on this team, it would not be the same for Quincy Enunwa. So he's better be taking Ryan Fitzpatrick out to dinner, because that has made a huge difference in his career thus far. And it's only been 2 games, but he looks excellent. Excellent. I mentioned, is there any room for Devin Smith on this team? I don't know. They're going to have to cut somebody when he returns. I think about mid-season from his injury. He's on IR. And they don't want to give up on him. But we got a lot of wide receivers depth in this team. So who knows if he's just a practice squad player until the offseason, and then he can try to prove himself and earn a roster spot. It's a tough break for the guy who got hurt. But, yeah, the other players have outplayed you because you're not there playing at all. Injuries. Well, we know the injury at linebacker. Eric Decker also nursing a shoulder injury. I don't think it's very serious. He is guaranteed that he'll be playing on Sunday. And Mr. Brandon Marshall, oh my goodness, he went down in the Bills game with his knee twisted like that. I thought his career was over. He thought his career was over. Dude got up, walked off the field, was back in a couple of plays. He's just twisted it. He's nursing it. They're going to take it easy on him. I don't think they'll overwork it because you don't want to risk a serious injury. He was so freaking lucky in that game that he didn't seriously just end his career like that. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again. He's late in his career. It's not something that you necessarily recover from. But we got the depth, Enunwa, Jalen Marshall, to cover any slowness that Marshall may be exhibiting in the field or inability to play after play after play. So take it slow, guys. You know, Decker, Marshall, take it slow. You don't have to man up and push through those injuries quite so much because there's great players behind you and this offense is clicking. So there was an injury on the offensive line in the game against the Bills. Left guard James Carpenter. It's unclear if he'll be available for for Sunday's game or not. And so, Jets met with, or they're setting up a meeting with former Patriots center Brian Stork to try to get a little bit more depth, because the idea is that our backup center will slide over into the left guard slot, and so then we need a backup center. I hope this injury is not so serious and that maybe we don't have to add Mr. Stork. But I know he's a former Patriot, but if he was good enough for the Patriots, it's good enough for the Jets. Patriots, great team, just saying. Oh. Any thoughts on the next game from our studio audiences? Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, YouTube, Facebook. Okay. It's time in our show to talk fantasy. This is my fantasy face. I told you guys last week to start Matt Forte, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, because they were going to dominate. And oh my, did they ever. I got Forte and Decker on my team. Almost 30 points for Forte in our league. Almost 20 points for Decker. Decker got in the end zone again. 6th straight game. Yeah, he's likely to get in the end zone again against Kansas City. So you better start him. Forte, 3 touchdowns last week. It'd be hard for him to match that, but I would be shocked if he didn't find the end zone for a 3rd straight week. Don't ignore these guys. They are putting up the numbers in fantasy football. Quincy Enunwa also putting up the numbers. Brandon Marshall put up the numbers last week. Jets tight ends, yeah, they're not putting up any numbers. Dismiss. But the 3 Jets receivers and Forte in the backfield are excellent in fantasy. I actually expect Bilal Powell to have a nice fantasy week here sometime soon, but probably going to be until the weather gets cold because Forte is going to be getting the majority of the load right now. On the opposite side of the spectrum, Jets defense fantasy disappointment last week. I think they got an interception, but those big plays, they gave up a lot of points. They're giving up the points so far. I don't think they're going to give up quite as many points against Kansas City, and they're likely to get some sacks because they hardly got any. I don't even know if they recorded a single sack against the Bills after 7 the week before. So they're likely to get a couple sacks, but while the defense has been playing well, from a fantasy perspective, they've been disappointment. I would give them one more week because, like I said, Texans shut down Kansas City, and even the Chargers were able to shut down Kansas City for the majority of the game. So there's a chance that the Jets defense could shine this week. But if they come up short again, I would look elsewhere for your defensive fantasy points. All right. Well, this has been fun. It's much more fun to talk to team after a week of victory. I wrote on Friday in my reaction to the Jets' victory, how good are the Jets really after blowing out the Bills? This is a really good football team. They're going to be at the top of the AFC this season. We need some things to break our way, just like they did in Buffalo, like those 3 big plays. We overcame them. The game broke our way. Todd Bowles made a mistake not going for 2 at the end of the game, but things broke our way. We're better than our mistakes thus far. We learn from them, we cut them out of the equation, and then we continue to be great, and this is going to be an excellent season and even more fun than last year. I'm excited. Grish Chiefs team. They're above average, but not quite good. Look around the world of New York sports. New York Giants are 2-0. I actually think they've looked halfway decent. Now, Giants fans will tell you, blah, what's with the team. The offense is sputtered. They haven't quite found rhythm in the passing game, even though they've done decent. Sterling Shepard's been nice as a rookie, playing well. But the running game hasn't really found a rhythm yet. But they're 2-0. 2 victories. It says something. You know, they took down the Cowboys, who are 1-1, and they took down the Saints, who are 0-2. But Saints, 2 very close games could easily be 2-0. So now I believe the Giants have the Redskins this week. And after the way Washington looked against Dallas, this one's kind of in the bag for me for the Giants, in my personal opinion. They're at home. Jennings is injured on the running back front, so if he doesn't play, that could really hurt New York. But Washington looks kind of like a sorry sack team this year. They just don't quite have it put together. So I know the whole division was bunched last season, but the Giants look a little bit better than their competition. I'm not too high on the Eagles just yet, even though they're 2-0. I like New York against Washington this week. In baseball, the Mets are a full game up in the NL wild card. They seem to have firm control of that. They stole it from the Giants, and the Cardinals there are in the mix, still tied with the San Francisco Giants for that second spot. But the Mets, they are going to be playing a home wild card game in that 1-game playoff in the National League. The Yankees, on the other hand, lost 6-7. They're playing today against Tampa Bay. Hopefully, this will be just the relief they needed to get a few wins together. But, oh man, the Red Sox swept them. It pretty much eliminated them from the playoffs. It's been a great, fun last 2 months of baseball with the young guys in there. I mean, sure, they lost 6-7. If we win the next 6-7, we're in the conversation. But at 4 games back, there's a lot of ground to make up with like 1 week and a half, 2 weeks of baseball at most left. So it was a nice story, but this is the expectation we had of how the season would end in the first place, so we should not be surprised. Okay, final thoughts. Any questions from my 2 live audiences? You guys have been great. We had a lack of technical difficulty today, which was wonderful for you, YouTube. Woo! You can watch me live on YouTube after the fact. Woo! Facebook always working wonderful. Thank you. Great. Love you guys. You're great audiences. I am Dan Salem. I am live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, on YouTube Live on the BuzzChomp channel, BUZZ Chomp, and on Facebook Live at the Dan Salem, my fan page, all verified, and the whatnot. Find me on Twitter at the Dan Salem. Find BuzzChomp on Twitter with 3 Z's. That's Buzz with 3 Z's on Twitter. And I'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, to talk New York Jets. It will be week 4. We will just face the Kansas City Chiefs. I am pumped. The season is going great. Enjoy yourself some football, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been a great live audience as we hit the finish buttons.